instructional coaching with the use of digital tools. Whether you're striving for professional advancement or you're looking to just improve your own growth, utilizing an instructional coach who's got strengths and digital tools to help you move forward is tremendously beneficial. Let's go ahead and get started. The first most important thing to think about is setting proper goals. Before we talk about instructional goal setting, it's important to think about how to set effective goals for an instructional goal, particularly when you're going to think about integrating digital tools with setting clear, directional, and motivated goals. Help you envision how you're going to meet the next step of your instruction, specifically with how you're going to use the collaboration with a coach who's going to help support you to utilize digital tools in the classroom. It's all about breaking down those bigger goals into smaller, more manageable chunks. That's going to help make success a lot more attainable. Let's talk about the goal setting framework for an instructional goal. It's going to be a comprehensive approach that's going to help you identify a goal and take action steps to meet that goal over time so that it's sustainable and effective in helping you grow. The first step is a comprehensive self-reflection of where you are in relationship to the goal you want to set. You want to identify your strengths, your weaknesses, and your aspirations on how you're going to attack the goal and break it down and understand what parts of the goal are going to be the most challenging and what parts of the goal are going to help you move forward with what your goal is with your students in your classroom. I highly recommend writing a one-page reflection for your own purposes on where you stand with what your goal is about, what you're trying to do, and how this goal is going to meet your needs and your students' needs. Your needs in terms of what you need to learn and why you think it's going to benefit your students, and for your students, what experiences are going to change for them. I'm going to talk about a very common goal-setting framework called the SMART goal framework. SMART goal framework is based around a goal being smart, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-based. These components are important to setting a very strong and effective goal. The S in SMART stands for specific. You need to pinpoint exactly what the goal is about. The M is for measurable. How are you going to measure your success with it? How are you going to know you achieved it? What data or analytics are you going to need to help you see the growth that you have with the goal? What data are you going to need to help you see your success as well? That can include student data. That could include your own data. You need to be thinking about how you're going to measure. When a goal is actionable, what the A stands for, it means that you're thinking about the actions you're going to need to be able to complete this goal over time. What are you going to need to do today, tomorrow, each month, or specifically in the classroom over time? What are the actions? What are the specifics? The R stands for relevant. How is the goal relevant? Why is it important to you? Why do you think it's a good goal? The T stands for time-based. What's the time window you expect to work on this goal? Is it a 1-year goal, a 2-year goal, or even just a 6-month goal? This is important because you're going to need to align your actions to the amount of time that you're going to give yourself to meet this goal. These are the essential building blocks of an amazing goal. Have a strategy for breaking the goal down. What are the small things that you can do right away? What are the larger components that are going to take more time? What are going to be the challenges? What are some things that you may already have the skills for within the goal? Start to break the goal down into what the actions are, the components are, and think about where they fit on your timeline. Doing this will help you stay motivated, help you realize what you have already done and why this goal is important to you, and also help you identify with an instructional coach what parts you're going to need the most help. An important part of this is also identifying the deliverables and the outcomes with these actions. Are you going to need to make a presentation? Are you going to need to make an assessment? Are you going to need to make a lesson plan that's specific to your goal? Are you going to collect a certain type of data at different times? These are all important things to think about, and something an instructional coach can help you do. Not only are they there to help support you with the use of a digital tool to get some of those outcomes, but they also can help you identify what some of them may be and help you strategize and have a collaborator in your goal of working with an instructional coach. An instructional coach is going to help you have accountability for these things that you're going to be learning all along the way. That accountability is tremendously important because it presents a checks and balances towards the work you're doing and how you're progressing towards the goal. Someone that you can talk to, collaborate with, and meet with on a regular schedule is going to be tremendously helpful in this process. Be sure to take meeting notes and notes about your progress as you meet with an instructional coach and develop strategies and work through the goal. Let's talk about instructional goal for achievement. This is going to be talking a little bit more about how you're going to achieve your goal with the support of an instructional coach. First of all, find a coach. You can use a service like Digital Future Education, or you may have some resources in your own district that can help you move forward with your goals. It's incredibly important to have some of that accountability towards moving towards your goals with someone who's working with you. An instructional coach should help provide guidance, insight, and training to help support you in those goals. Regular check-ins are a critical part of an instructional goal. You need to make sure that you're meeting with your instructional coach regular check-in. Regular check-ins with your instructional coach discussing your goal is incredibly important. It's a process where you're going to collaborate, discuss your progress, your actions, the things you're learning, and how you're meeting the goal over time. It may include learning a new tool. It may mean collecting data and discussing data. It may include talking about your students' progress or your students' response to your goal and what you're implementing new in the classroom to meet the goal. These are all important things that need time and need discussion with an instructional coach to help you move forward with the goal. Receiving constructive feedback around your goal is incredibly important. This is going to help you adapt your goal as needed and help make changes. Let's talk now about leveraging digital tools to help be successful. The first thing I want to talk about is time tracking or collaborative documents. You should have a set of collaborative documents which represent not only your goal-setting process, but also help identify the tools you want to use, the resources you're going to need for each one of the actions and deliverables related to your goal. These need to be reviewed regularly with the instructional coach so that you can track your progress and find out what you need to do next. One thing I recommend is having a Google form or another type of form which collects data where you can reflect each month or each week on your progress towards the goal, utilizing the same question framework so that you are consistently providing yourself consistent feedback towards your goals. And you can talk about the changes and the updates that you need to help be successful as you move forward. Questions can include, what types of data did I collect? How are my students feeling about the new practices in the classroom? What digital tools am I integrating during this cycle of the goal? You should have your goal outline where each month you have specific steps you need to meet the goal. And also collect data around your process during each month. You want to consistently provide updates and your own feedback, and even student feedback is really important towards what you're doing in the classroom. You can collect even using student feedback around what your goal is and see if they have any feedback for you around what you're trying to do. Take accountability for your progress and adaptations you're making towards your goals. The next thing I want to talk about is time management and how are you going to get the time that's going to be the most beneficial towards working towards these goals. Teachers have limited time, so it's important to identify the time in which you're going to meet to discuss these goals early on in the goal setting process. When are you going to meet with your instructional coach? How often? Where? Online or in person? And what will you discuss on a regular basis? And utilize that time for the support from the instructional coach or support to help learn the tools and resources to help move you forward. And remember, track this consistently. When you meet with a coach or you develop an idea that you want to modify and adjust to your goal, track it and write it down and write why. Tools like Todoist and Google Keep, which can help you make collaborative notes that you can share with an instructional coach or just allow you to continue to have running feedback around the progress of. You could also potentially use mind mapping software early on in the goal setting process. You could potentially use a tool like Jamboard to help frame out what you will do each month visually towards the goal. You can include your progress areas, benchmarks, and components that you want to integrate into the goal. Also think about how online platforms can help support your goal. Is it worthwhile to have a Google Classroom for all of your documents and collaboration materials that you have towards this goal? Maybe you're working on a team goal and you can have all of the people who are working on this team goal together within one central learning management system, just like a Google Classroom, and use this area to help hold digital documents and collaboration notes and the resources that you're sharing together. Before we wrap up, I want to help address some common questions around digital learning goals, instructional goals, and working with a coach. The first question is, what makes a good instructional goal? One thing that I would suggest is a good instructional goal helps engage students with learning, helps you develop new skills and resources to use with students in the classroom, helps you measure student success, and helps you adapt your instructional practices for better student performance and your own personal. Also consider goals that integrate district initiatives like social emotional learning, diversity and equity, or personalized learning, or even the increased access and use of technology in the classroom integrated with students. How will I make the time to work on my goals? Early on in the goal setting process, it's very important that you can strategically identify time to work on these goals. This could include some personal time, but it's best if you can embed the goal setting process and the time you're going to work on these goals into your planning. This could include additional professional development time or collaboration time you have with other educators within your school. How will I know that I'm progressing with my goals? You need to review your feedback. Look back at your notes, your initial ideas around the goal. What were the outcomes you anticipated at a specific time, and see how you're addressing those. You should see that you are making progress, whether it is in the use of a tool to meet a specific outcome, you are collecting feedback to be able to make actionable instructional decisions, or you are still progressing and looking for adding something else to the goal to help you enable more progress. Sometimes you'll meet parts of your goal earlier, sometimes you may meet parts of them later. When working with an instructional coach, some of these things will be discussed more regularly. And as you progress through a goal, you're going to recognize your progress from looking back at what the components were that you originally wanted to add to the goal. Just be sure that you don't add too many new things to a goal or shift the goal by worrying about your progress on it. You can ask yourself, what would I like to see moving forward? That question can sometimes add new insights to your goal or help you modify something that isn't working the way that you expected it to. And there you have it. That's a pretty comprehensive review of the goal setting process using the SMART framework, and also discussing some of the strategies and tools that you can use with digital tools to help support a goal with an instructional coach. I highly recommend that if you're going to start setting some goal around the use of integrating technology in the classroom, that you work through a specific goal setting strategy. And if you have a tremendous resource like an instructional coach for that support, that collaboration, it's really going to help you meet those goals faster. It's really that collaboration, the collective feedback, that's the development of new strategies with someone who has the skill set in those strategies to help you move forward. No goal is too big if you have the right strategies in place. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel for more information from Digital Futures. If you're interested in more instructional coaching content, I have it here on the channel. And visit often and leave a comment below if you're interested or have more questions in any services from Digital Futures Education, or visit the website at www.digitalfutureseducation.com. I appreciate your time watching the video and have a great day.